Last week we announced he was coming here and today, and since then he's been making headlines everywhere he goes. Let's see what he has to say today. Please welcome presidential hopeful Donald Trump. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's been a while.
I know it has. Mr. Trump, do you realize that you are the first presidential candidate on either side that has ever co-hosted this show?
That's true. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's a great show. Boy, better than ever. You're doing great, huh?
Oh, thank you very much.
You ever see our friend Regis?
He was just here.
Oh, because, I mean, how good? Regis is great. Right?
He's great.
This is a little different generation, slightly.
I've been thinking about him since you've declared that you would be running for president, because I know how close the two of you are, and I often think, like, is he giving you media advice? Will there be a position in your cabinet for him?
We'll have to find something. I think so. But you're doing great. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, let's get down to what everybody's talking about.
Okay.
Now, in your book, Crippled America, you write about your relationship with the media. Now, here's what you say. You say, sometimes...
I hate the media.
You hate the media. You say, sometimes I make outrageous comments and give them what they want, viewers and readers, in order to make a point. Now, yesterday, a few days ago, you said about banning Muslims from coming into the country. Was that something that you think would be adopted or could be adopted, or is that something that you just said to be outrageous?
No, not to be outrageous. Look, we have a problem in this country. The World Trade Center happened to come down, and lots of other things have happened. Then last week you had the terrible shooting in California, and frankly, a lot of people knew that was going to happen. A lot of people knew he had those guns and the rifles and the bombs all over the apartment. One person saw the bomb, said, oh, gee, I didn't want to racially profile. I thought it would be incorrect to racially profile. So a lot of people killed. You look at what went on in Paris. We're going to have tremendous problems. It's getting worse and worse. And those problems are coming from a certain sector. Now, I did it for a limited period of time, but our country has to get its act together. We have people that don't know what they're doing, and we need safety. We want to make America great again. But we need safety in our country.
But wouldn't a ban on Muslims, though, wouldn't that violate the Constitution's, freedom of religion?
No, because we don't have a Constitution. These are people that aren't in the country. I mean, the people that are in the country, they're in the country. We're not talking about them. These are people that are outside of the country. So we're really not talking about the Constitution. And it's not about religion. This is about safety. This has nothing to do with religion. It's about safety. A lot of problems are happening in our country. I mean, hey, look. We can go to many different things. You look at trade, you look at what China and all these countries are doing to us. They're taking our money, they're taking our jobs. There's so many problems that we have in the country. And the purpose of the book, and it's done so well, and honestly, this is the first time I've even promoted the book, really. This is my first show about the book, and the book's been out like for 3 weeks because of my respect for you guys. But it's done really well, and I think the reason it's done well is because of, I tell it like it is, as your friend Howard Cosell used to say.
Well, but there are a lot of people in your own party who are speaking out against you. They're saying, what he's saying is not right. We don't condone it. We don't agree with it. With that being said, would you consider to run as the third-party candidate? Well,
let me tell you, first of all, I don't want to do that. I'm leading in the polls by, not a little bit, like by 20 and 21 points. A poll just came out. I'm leading in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, Texas. I'm leading in Florida against two people. One was a governor, one was a senator. I'm leading every single poll, and nationwide, I'm leading in every one of them. So obviously, I'm very happy where I am. The people, the Republican Party the people have been phenomenal. The party, I'll let you know about that. And if I don't get treated fairly, I would certainly consider that. In fact, they did a poll in one of the, I think it was USA Today, where they said 68% of the people that were Republicans would follow Trump if he went independent. I don't want to do that. Number one, when you're leading by 20 and 21 points, you don't do that. A lot of the people that are very critical, people like Jeb Bush, who's down being, got nothing going, and a lot of the others that are critical, they're doing very poorly. I mean, they're doing very, very poorly in the poll. It was sort of interesting because Jeb the other day was on television, and he said, Donald Trump, maybe I disagree with him, but he is a gifted, gifted politician. I said, oh, why did he say that? That's such a nice thing to say. And then he said it again and again. I said, this is my opponent.
Right. Well, so
You
here's
don't
the
say that
question.
when you have
Are
an
you,
opponent.
Are
You don't.
you,
No, never.
No.
Are you
Yeah,
considering?
Michael wouldn't be saying that about me.
If you are your party's nominee, have you considered who your running mate would
Yes.
be? Is that a
Yes, but I don't think about it. Look,
Well,
I
who would it
started off
be?
with 17 people. It was 17. Now
Yeah.
it's down to 15. You're going to have a lot of people dropping out. I was at 35, 36%, which is amazing. When you have 15 people now, we're down to 15, 2 dropped out. When you have 35, 36%, that's amazing when you have 15 people. But people will now start to drop out. You have people like, Lindsey Graham, he's got 0. He's got 0. He's got nothing. I won't mention names because I don't want to embarrass anybody. But you have people.
It's too late.
But who are you considering? Who are you considering as a running mate? Who
I
are you
won't mention
considering?
any other names.
But
do you mind if I go through about 4 or 5
No,
names?
no, no. But we need.
But do
who
you
are you
think-
considering as a running mate?
Okay, so I like some of the people on stage with me, and I like a lot of the Republicans generally. I mean, I've been in politics all my life, although I've always been on the other side. I've never been on this side.
Right.
I was establishment. All of a sudden, I became non-establishment. But, I backed John McCain big league, he lost. I backed Mitt Romney. That one should have been one, he lost. And this time I said, I'm doing it myself. I'm going to do it myself. We're going to make America great again. I don't think too much about the vice presidency for one very simple reason. I want to win first.
Right.
I don't care. It's like when you start thinking you have the football game won and who are we playing next week? Have you heard that? Right? And then all of a sudden you say, well, we're losing. Or your golf match.
You don't look
He's
at
a very
it.
good golfer, by the way. Is my course in Bedminster good?
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Because I know he was over there. They spotted. They called. They said, Michael's playing. And they said, you played very well.
Well, they tend to lie a little bit over there. But we got to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about it. We'll see the Donald's first appearance on live here in 1989. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Now listen, some people say that this is your entree into politics in some kind of office. What do you think? No, still no eyes for that?
I love what I do. I really enjoy what I do, and I think there's very little doubt that I will not be going into politics. I'm too controversial, you know that.
Well,
Also,
yeah.
you can't live on what the
be-
president makes.
Okay, what happened? What changed your mind?
I don't know, but I look at that and I say, "There's nothing good about the clock. There's nothing good." But that was great. Long time. Hey, I've been doing the show a long time.
But it's amazing you said, no way, I'm too controversial, which you are very controversial.
Yeah, you've become more controversial.
I think I'm more controversial now.
Now,
What
yes.
happened?
But when you started the campaign, one thing you said, I will not use anybody's money. I'm using my own
Right.
money. But if you are nominated, will you maintain that? Will you continue to use your own?
I may. It's a big factor. People really like the fact I'm the only person, out of everybody, Democrat, Republican, that's self-funding. I call it self-funding. And I'm putting up my own money. And so far, I haven't had to spend that much because I haven't done any commercials of note. I've done virtually no commercials. And I see a couple of people are up to 34, 35 million. One's at 48 million. And I'm at like nothing. It's embarrassing. But I get so much television. Can you imagine you go all program Trump and then you have a commercial Trump? People would get sick. They'd get sick and they'd, I don't know what they'd do. So I haven't spent as much. I mean, I'm probably $25, $30 million under budget, and which makes me happy. It's always nice. But I'm self-funding my campaign. And I'll tell you something. Michael, people love that I'm self-funding because, I play the game as well as anybody's ever played it. I know politicians. I've dealt. And when you give somebody $1 million, $2 million, $5 million to run, that's your person. And if you have a company or if you have a country that you're representing, if it's a lobbyist or something, representing China or one of these countries that are ripping us off, and they're giving a lot of money to the candidates, believe me, those candidates are absolutely in the bag. And they will sell out the folks, they will sell out our country in order to take care of their donors. And, who understands that better than I do? So the fact that I'm the only self-funder, it's called self-funder, but I put up all my own money, and you know what? People love it. I think it's one of the reasons I'm leading by so much, because I can't be bought.
We have to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the possibility of you facing Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election when we return more with Donald Trump.
We are back with presidential nominee Donald Trump. And of all the candidates out there, who do you think is your biggest competitor?
Well, I don't want to really say because if I said, I don't want to build them up right now, I don't think I have a competitor because I'm leading by so much. So I'm viewing it as not. I guess Hillary is going to be, she shouldn't be allowed to run because of what happened with the email. She shouldn't even be allowed to run. What she did was totally illegal. But I assume she's my biggest candidate. And I say this to people. She doesn't have the strength or the stamina to be president. And I'll tell you, and it's not a nice thing to say, it's
What
terrible.
What makes you say that?
Take a look. She goes to an event. The press is told what to say, where to go. They put them in a pen. They hold them. She does a little event, and then she goes away for 4 or 5 days. We need somebody with unbelievable strength, stamina, smarts, cunning, or we're in trouble as a country. We are being outdealt with you look at Mexico, what they're doing to us on the border and with trade. You look at Japan with the cars, what they're doing to us in trade. We're losing $70 billion a year. We're losing $400 billion a year with China. She doesn't have the strength or the stamina. I mean, you know, she's got a name and people will stupidly vote for her. She doesn't have the strength or the stamina.
So okay.
True.
So you're. So with that being,
they're all nodding. They're all
so with that
agreeing.
being said, if you were to run against her, you think you'd beat her?
Yeah, I think I would. The Fox poll just came out 2 days ago, and it said I win head-to-head by quite a bit. So, I mean, look, I will do my best. Romney let us down. He should have won. He should have beaten Obama. He let us down. Something happened to him the last month. It's like he went away. That doesn't happen with me. I will be in there fighting, and we will make America great again. My whole theme is make America great again, and we will make America great again.
Your family's very involved in your business. Your children are really present in your business.
That's true.
Will there be places in the administration for your children?
Well, I'm thinking about making Ivanka vice president. What do you think? I'm kidding.
Ivanka just dropped the phone. What?
No, I'm kidding, but and I have to say I'm kidding because the press will then go with it.
Right.
Trump wants to make Ivanka vice
Right.
president. They'll make a big deal. You know, I said on a certain show that my daughter's a beautiful young woman. So I said, and I said it joking. Everybody laughed. I said, my daughter's so beautiful that if I weren't married, et cetera, I'd be dating her. Okay, cute. It was cute. Everybody laughed. They cracked up. The next day, Trump wants to date his daughter. I mean, the whole place was cracking up. So when I say vice president, I'm kidding, folks. I'm kidding.
So, and I have one more
Although
question.
she would be good, I will say.
One more question of a serious note. You said you wanted to build a border in Mexico, build a wall in Mexico, and then now no Muslims in the country, but in Canada they're letting in thousands of Syrian refugees. Would you build something across Canada?
No, well, first of all, you're talking about serious distance. You know, the Great Wall of China is very interesting. It's 13,000 miles. Mexico is 2,000 miles, of which you really need 1,000 because you have a lot of, things that you just can't get over, like ridges and lakes and other things. But Canada is 5,000, more than 5,000 miles. And we don't have the problem in Canada that we have down on the southern border. So, number one, it's very long, very big. And number two, we don't have the same problem. No, this is a wall. It will be built. Mexico will pay for it. It will keep people out. It'll keep drugs out to a large extent. We will have a big, beautiful door so that when people want to come into our country, Michael, they can come in, but they have to come in legally.
All right, well, there we go. All right, Crippled Americans, everywhere books are sold. Go check it out. Written by Donald Trump, everybody.